Hey, namaste, everybody. It's Becca Pati. So absolutely grateful to be setting up this video right at the end of Pacific Beach in San Diego. If you have a look around, you can actually see the beach is just absolutely amazing. It's Sunday morning, and if I'm squinting a little bit, you'll just have to bear with me. The sun is like super shiny, and I love it. Feeling really motivated and just really relaxed as well. You know, we need these breaks, right? We need these time out where we can just kind of rejuvenate, refill, refuel, and do the things that work best for us. Mine is going by the ocean, being near a beach, and having that peacefulness, and like actually hearing the ocean waves is really soothing to my soul. You know, my busy life, I don't think I take the time to like stop and chill out and really like observe these kind of moments. So it's nice to go on holidays where you've got this. So this approximately 30-minute class, you know, I really hate to give a time because, you know, sometimes we go a little bit longer, sometimes we're a little shorter, but this is called Manifest, Digest, and Let It Rest. I've been chatting with quite a few of you about this idea of manifestation, and I think that I love the New Age concepts, right? We're like on board with it. We realize that in a simplistic way, what we're putting out there, we're getting back. But I don't know if it's quite that simple sometimes, and you'll have to excuse a little bit of the noise here. I've got a helicopter flying overhead and of course the ocean in the background. But this idea of manifestation, I think, is really, it's curious among all of us, right? So what we're trying to do is put out to the universe, to spirit, to God, if that's your belief system, right? Or energy, nature, and to say, this is what I want, this is what I would like to have happen in my world, and, you know, if you could, you know, kind of please give that to me, that would be, you know, that would be awesome, right? And I think that sometimes the way that we're manifesting, and I don't want to use the word wrong because I don't really live in the world of right and wrong. I think that there are a lot of gray areas with a lot of different issues, and so manifestation to me is exactly the same. It's that idea that a lot of us are using very passive language to get to where we're wanting to go. So I'll give you an example. So instead of saying, well, let me start with what we do say. For most people, we use manifestation in our meditations or like our constant thoughts, and we're like, I wish I was more abundant. I wish I had this, and we're almost stuttering with it. And I think that there's a lot of, you know, I wish I could find love. I wish I could meet the person that I'm supposed to be with. I wish I had more money. I wish I had more peace. I wish I could get over my traumas. I would like to, one day, that would be nice if ... And as much as I totally get it and I appreciate those, the basic ideas of manifestation is just to put out there what you want and it comes back to you. I don't believe it's really that simple. Is to really be aware of what our languaging is. What I've learned from my own experiences. So I'll say, if you're finding success with the I would like to, I wish, keep doing it, because there's something that's in that for you that's actually really, really working. But if you're finding that your manifestations are really not coming to fruition, and I mean, it's not on our time frame, right? We can't say to the universe, this is what I want and I want it now. That's not really understanding how energies work that are beyond our control. So there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that we have no idea about. One thing, you might not be ready for the manifestation you're asking for. Just as a side note, you know, if you're looking for a partner but you yourself are not developing your own self-love, it's going to be pretty tough for someone to come along and love the shit out of you when you yourself don't love yourself. So you see what I'm saying with that? So timing is really everything. But what if in our manifestations, instead of the I wish, I want, that would be great if, ... we decided to act as if we already had it. So instead of saying, I wish I was abundant, the I am statements are so valuable, right? So we say, I am abundant. I have a partner. I am happy. I am free. I am beautiful. I am full of self-love. I have money. I have the job that I would like. I have whatever, you know, or I want, not I want, but more like I am. And so we get rid of the passive words, and what ends up happening is there's all of a sudden this like resurgence of energy that kind of starts to flow through us. And it's like, yeah, you know, I am abundant. I have the ability to travel. I am, and there's like this empowering that comes through our body, that all of a sudden it's like people around us start to notice, and it's almost, you know, that feeling of faking it till you make it a little bit. You know, if you're kind of having like one of those days where you're like, bleh, and then you have to go somewhere, you kind of got to put on that smiley face, and everyone's like, how you doing? And you're like, you know, I'm doing really good. And eventually by the end of the night, you're actually feeling really good. And I think it's kind of the same principle. It's like we're putting out there, not the I want down the road, but I am this now. And there's almost, and I want to use this word carefully, but it's a demanding quality from the universe to say, I am worthy of this. I deserve this. I don't really know why I'm looking up, but when I think of universe, I think of it being sort of around me, and so I could be looking down too. But it's this concept of telling the universe what you deserve, how you deserve it, and that you deserve it now, and that it is happening in this very moment. And then we have to let that percolate. So as we're sitting there with our manifestations, as we've been putting it out there in the now, in this moment, then we have to digest it. Then we allow it to sort of, if you will, percolate inside of ourselves. It's like eating, you know, a good wholesome meal. You can't just like, you know, get up and go swimming, right? There has to be this feeling of allowing it to gently absorb into your tissues, into your cells, so that you not only then put it out there, then what happens is you actually become that. And when you become that, it oozes from your cells. Again, in terms of a worthiness, let's say at your job, you want more. You're like, I deserve more money, I deserve more responsibility, I want to be promoted, all this kind of stuff. I am promoted, I have the raise, all of these different qualities, and then you show up to work because it's now digested in your body, and you're acting out in the way like you already have all these things. And so your boss or your manager sees those responsibilities starting to increase, seeing your attitude shift and change, and all of a sudden, you know, it may not work exactly as you had it planned, but maybe something even better comes along for you, or another job opportunity that gives you the ability to go above and beyond. And then we have to rest. We have to fucking rest, my friends, because you know what? What happens is, I've done this a million times over. I manifest, and then I push, and I'm knocking down doors, and I'm aggressively going after something. And it's like, you know what? Whoa. Calm down. Allow it to be in the timing, and trust the process. And once we trust the process, there's this kind of unfolding that takes place. I'm starting to spit. I get so excited about this kind of topics. It's like, we need to allow it to rest so that the universe can do its work. It knows what you deserve. It knows that you're worthy. It knows when you want it, which is now. And so it starts to sort of allow all of these things to start to take place. But you don't have to push so hard. We don't have to hustle, as they say. We can actually be aligned with what our divine purpose is, and sort of find that space within ourselves to say, okay, now, I'm going to rest. Try it. See what happens. I would love to hear your feedback on this from a personal standpoint. And not that you just did it one day and you're like, well, Becca, it doesn't work, so nah. But to actually really feel that this is the way to go, to manifest, to digest, and then to let it rest. I'll see you on your mats in a few minutes, okay? Lots of love. Hey, welcome back. So we're sitting in Pacific Beach here in San Diego. I'm super excited to flow with you today for about these 30 minutes, but just know that the video is at kind of a little bit of a weird angle. I don't have a tripod or anything to sort of set it up with, so you may see me at kind of like from feet up type of experience, but we'll just go with the flow. So let's come into a wide knee child's pose. So I'm just gonna put you down here for a moment. There we go. Kind of make that work. Good, all right, so coming into, hold on here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to, be timing this to around 30 minutes, okay? So we'll see where we go and what that looks like. All right, so we'll come into a wide knee child's pose. Knees nice and wide. Your toes will come to touch. Let's just take a moment and settle the hips down first, though, so that we can really ground into the space. And as we do that, we'll lengthen the spine out a little bit further. So crawl, instead of just sort of dumping your spine on the earth, see if you can lengthen just a little bit more. So arms extended, and then we'll gently relax. So the elbows soften, the collarbones reach towards the earth, and even your forehead. And you'll notice I'm on ground, but I don't have my yoga mat. I really want, if you have the accessibility to getting outside, try an earth today and see what that feels like. It's a little bit different than being on your mat, okay? So see if you can press your hips a bit further back towards your heels for a moment, and then we'll slowly take the forehead down towards the floor. And you might actually really like that rolling out sensation where your third eye space, your intuitive space, is moving side to side. Since we're talking about manifestation, we're talking about the idea of letting it digest and then let it rest, noticing what happens when we start to really stimulate the third eye space, right? You might like those gentle movements of the hips, maybe even the head, and then eventually we'll bring ourselves forward with a wide knee. So allow your chest to sort of roll over top of your thumbs. Keep your knees nice and wide. We'll point the toes and then bring them up towards the sky. Are you with me? Exhale, take your chest straight down. So maybe some of you got to roll down. It's okay, it's no big deal. And then keep your toes elevated, all right? Roll the shoulder heads back, come back up. So we'll take an inhale, up we go. All right, we're doing this 2 more times. Exhale, take yourself down. You got it. Maybe you shift the gaze towards the earth. Otherwise, you can lift it forward slightly as you come all the way back up. Now walk yourself back towards your knees. Sit on down on your heels. Bring your fingertips back, press into them, roll your shoulder heads back and arch your spine slightly. So it's like you've got the heart reaching up towards the ceiling, noticing how that actually feels, that full extension, heart expression, right? Maybe we're feeling a little closed off. Things haven't been happening the way we would like them to happen, right? Because that's what happens when we start manifesting and nothing is going on like this. We get all freaked out that the universe isn't working in our favor, and I promise you, my friends, it really is. So start to lift up the gaze slightly, maybe even the chin pops up just that little bit, and notice how that feels. Beautiful. So one more big inhale here. Keep the belly drawn in nice and full, okay? Then bring your fingertips in front of you, tuck your toes under. We'll bring ourselves into a toe squat. Knees out nice and wide. You can take your knees super wide and then down. So you're pressing towards the earth. Maybe your heels come in a little bit. Your palms will come to touch. We'll hold this space for a couple of breaths. And if you would like, you can bring your palms up above your head, just noticing how that feels for your shoulders. If it's too much, then drop them down. So pause here for 3. Maybe look towards the right. Gaze it back to center. Look towards the left. Test out your balance. Bring it all the way back. Hands come into the heart space. Namaste. We've got crow pose right off the bat. I know some of you are like, good God, right? Bring your knees in slightly. Your palms come down to the floor. So option A, you're just working on lifting one foot and then the other, right? So as you lean forward, maybe today your knees are just on the outside edges of your upper arms. Otherwise, you sort of start to press your knees more into the back sides and walk forward. You need to get your wrists underneath your elbows. Otherwise, this doesn't work. So take your heart forward, lift up your right foot, hold here, and then maybe you lower it down and lift up your left foot. Okay. If you want to play with kind of hovering in the air, maybe you just allow your left foot to come down and rise up your right foot. Right foot comes up, lean forward a little bit, test the balance, and now your right foot comes down, left foot comes up. For those of you who want to go right into it, lean forward, press up your toes in towards your sit bones, open your heart forward a little bit more for 3, for 2, for 1, moving into Malasana. So take the feet down towards the earth. Allow your hips to settle down, palms come to touch. Now here's the thing, I know a lot of us cannot get our heels down, so you want to pop up on your toes, that's totally fine, okay? So don't worry so much about the shape of it, think about the feel of it. We're getting into digestion though, right? So as we're sitting down, your back is opening, your belly's feeling nice and, there's the organs are getting massaged there. Palms come to touch and your heart elevates. Yeah. So we can't be so heady with our manifestations in terms of what we're looking for. That means overthinking. One of the best things we can do is actually allow it to percolate, right? So we're swallowing it, allowing it to digest. And this pose is really earthy. It gives us a sensation of actually grounding that thought, idea, where you'd like to see yourself into your root, into where that all sort of has to grow up from, right? So hold here for 3, for 2, and then for 1, bring your hands behind you. Keep your bum elevated, feet come out. Now crowd walk towards me. So walk, walk, walk. All right, just gonna turn a little bit to the side here. So as you press your hands back, you'll lift up into a reverse tabletop. Let your head go just enough that you could look up towards the sky, but not so that you're dropping all the way back, okay? So keep up the heart a little bit higher. So one more big inhale, you're here. And then take your right leg and send it out forward. Drop it down to the floor, the heel is down, press up. It's like a little mini reverse push-up, okay? Lift up the gaze, one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, elevate up the leg. Keep it in line with knees to knees. Beautiful, tuck your knee in, exhale. Maybe you can round your face in towards your knee. Inhale, send the leg out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, send the leg out. Last time, you got this. Bring your knee all the way in, give it a little bit of a squeeze. Send the leg all the way out, and as you do so, lower your bum all the way down towards the earth, sit up nice and tall. We're twisting towards the left-hand side. Take an inhale, up we go. Exhale, options. Grab onto your knee with your elbow, or you can start to twist further while your elbow goes to the outer edge of the knee, okay? So maybe look over your back shoulder. Yeah, so check in. If this doesn't feel organic, grab onto your knee, who cares, right? You might also notice I'm doing this in a bikini top. It's freaking hot out here. So, you know, we'll just roll with it today. So allow your elbow to go to the outer edge. And then bring it all the way back to center. Drop your left knee out to the side. So now you're in Janushirasana. Lift up the heart, take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're coming forward over top of the right thigh, okay? So maybe today, you gotta bend this knee up, like big time, right? Otherwise, you're gonna soften it a little bit more, so bringing your chest over top of the thighs and allowing your head to reach forward. So if that feels good, you continue with that stretch, like just allowing the breath to percolate. Yeah, inhaling, we come up slightly. Exhale, you drop down just a little bit further. If that sucks, don't do it, right? Who fucking cares? Come back up, that's okay, right? This is not about getting so deep into the hamstring that we rip it. It's about finding the breath with the movement. So here we are. One more big breath in here. And then roll your spine, coming all the way up, okay? Let's reach the arms up towards the ceiling or towards the sky, wherever you are. And exhale again, bring your hands back behind you. Now bring your feet back to the earth. Lift up your hips slightly. Crab walk yourselves back to center if you've moved, okay? And I'm gonna shift myself over slightly, okay? So now I'm more this way. So here we go. Inhale, elevate up. Now we have the left leg is going to extend. So take the left leg nice and long. Exhale, bring it nose to knee. Inhale, send it out long. Exhale, nose to knee or forehead. Inhale, go long. Exhale, one last time. Here we are. Good. So inhale, take your leg and drop it down to the floor on an exhale, hold. Press into both of your feet. So basically your heel is like that on the floor, okay? So press down with the heel, roll open your heart and see if you can look at the ceiling or the sky. Yeah, so roll the backs of your arms together. It's not even the shoulder blades, it's your triceps. They've got to move closer. Take an inhale, you're here. And as you exhale, slowly lower your bum all the way down towards the earth. Okay, we've got an inhale, left arm goes high. You can either give a little bit of a hug or you can take your elbow right to the outer edge of the knee. Doesn't matter, right? So here we are. Sit up tall, inhale. Exhale, take the twist. Big breaths in. Exhales to twist. Big breath in. Exhales to twist. Nice. And then we'll bring it all the way back to center. Let your right knee flop out to the side. So see if you can put a little bit of pressure with your big toe mound to the inside of your left inner thigh. And as you do so, you create a really interesting dynamic for your core, okay? So as you press up and in, inhale, rise your arms high. Exhale, take it forward. So you might choose to grab onto your foot, your ankle, shin, knee. Again, doesn't matter. Bend up your knee as much as you need to. Whatever, okay. So we bring ourselves forward. We let our face kind of slide down over top of the knee. So we're not doing like head to knee like that. We're taking the chest, pulling it forward and bringing yourself long. Collarbones rolled back, open heart space, yeah? Okay. One more big inhale. So we're actually looking at that manifestation of grounding and becoming a little bit more solid with it. So it's not just like in the heady space, right? We're like down, we're in the earth, we're getting real with it. And we already know that it's happened, not that it's going to happen. Very key there. And then roll your spine coming all the way back up. We'll take an inhale, reach your arms straight up towards the sky. Hands come back behind you. Again, feet come down to the floor. Reverse tabletop, up you go. Okay, So I'm gonna walk back to center. You can stay if you're still facing me, that's totally fine. We'll start rolling ourselves forward into Malasana. Here we go, palms to touch. I'm really close to you, right? I don't know, sorry if that's a little too much for you. So we're holding here for 3, elevating, pulling in through the belly. A little self-conscious, I'm not gonna lie with my swimsuit on, but it's okay. And then lower down the hands towards the floor. And now we've got a downward facing dog. So lift up first and then take your step back. I'm actually gonna take my mala off here. Okay, so here we go. We're holding here and allowing our hands to be super earthy. Like your index and thumb need to be really active, but roll your upper shoulders away from your ears. This idea of squeezing up doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. So take your arms open so you can drop your armpits further towards your thighs while your rib cage stays in. Take an inhale, right leg rises to the sky. Gaze it forward, and I mean super slowly. Bring your knee in towards your chest, but come forward, be high on your back toes. Lift up your right fingertips so you can easily land your right foot to the earth. You might have to wiggle your back foot away from you so you're high on the back toes. Squeeze your belly and rise your arms up. Okay, I'm actually gonna shift myself back a little bit, okay? So here we go. You can see this a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so notice how I'm not hanging open in this. I've got my rib cage drawn in. I'm going long. Energy is reaching up towards the sky. Maybe take the gaze high. Fingertips behind the ears. Inhale. Exhale, lower down your left knee. Hold. Exhale, left elbow taps right knee. Inhale, bring it back, but keep your knee low. I know, this is gonna be a little bit awkward. If you need to straighten it or lower it to the floor, do it. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale. All right, then slowly bring yourself back to center. Let's open up the heart a little bit further. Take your knee down towards the earth. Point your back toes away. Take your elbow to the outer edge of the knee. Palms can come to touch. Lift up your heart and open towards the right hand side. If you haven't guessed, I'm actually mirroring you. So I'm going left, you're going right, but we're all going right together, okay? You got that? Here we are. So open up your heart. All right, one more big inhale, we're here. Good, take an exhale, bring it back to center. Drop your palms down, tuck your back toes under, away we go. We're sending ourselves to warrior 3. It can be a little 1, 2, 3. Crawl yourself forward, you got this. Elevate up. Keep your fingertips, maybe even peace fingers to the floor. So you've got height. Try not to hang down in this pose, which means your back legs are gonna be floppy. Send the leg up. All right, inhale, we are here. I'm just gonna hop back a little bit. Inhale, we're here. Exhale, take your back knee towards your right back knee. So you're kind of squatting, okay? Yeah. Inhale, send it long. Exhale, take it down and squat. Inhale, go long. Exhale, squat. Last time. Inhale, up you go. Exhale, take the squat. Now you're gonna hold here and just see how you do. This is reverse eagle. Take your left foot, you'll plant it down so that the toes are tapped to the floor. Come up with your heart space, palms to touch, and exhale, take a twist right. So elbow goes to the outer edge of your right knee. Yeah, if you've got something really nice to look at, I got the ocean right now, so I'm super pumped. All right, then you'll bring yourself back to center, drop your fingertips down, take your feet side by side, inhale, come up high on your toes, sit your hips down towards your heels. You got this, all right. So as we pause here, just notice how this feels. Maybe today you can lift your fingertips up, you can roll back your heart space and bring your palms into namaste. If this sucks and it doesn't work, just keep your fingertips down, that's totally fine, right? It's not a fucking competition here. So as you lengthen up, the heart is high. Let's take this into side crow. Or not. Option A, your left arm goes to the outer edge, fingertips down, right hand to low back, chill out there. If you're moving this into your side crow, you're probably, depending where you are in your mat, you might want to hop over towards the left hand side. Palms come down. Now I'm going to do a 1 arm, you can do a 2 arm. So your back elbow would touch your back hip, otherwise you're free floating with your back arm, okay? So you start to lean. You've got to have your wrists underneath your elbows. That's the only way you get up. Solid hands, like press them down to the floor. You lean forward and you might end up getting your feet floating up to the sky. Some of you who want to lift that top knee, feel free. I can't really talk through this process, but here we go. Hold here for 3, for 2, for 1. Both of your feet come down to the floor. Beautiful, let's chill out in Balasana, all right? So your heels come down if possible, and then we'll sit our bums down. Noticing how good that feels after all of that shit. Yeah. Let your heart come up nice and high if that's possible. So you're in your hip flexors right now, but sometimes that's awkward, so be on your toes if it's really uncomfortable. If you have back injury, come up higher. This is not a time to show off, right? We want to make sure that our body's going to do yoga forever. So here we go for 3, for 2, then for 1, it's a downward dog moment. So we'll send our hands forward, lengthen your legs back behind you, and let's flow. Inhale, come to an upper plank, but see if you can roll your spine. Good, chaturanga. I'm gonna go way back here. So chaturanga, only 90 degrees angles. Please do not go lower than that. So we're here, right? Not here, not ass up. Keep your bum tucked, come up higher, point your toes and rise into your upward dog. So, or little cobra, or cobra, right? You know where you're at. So extend up the heart space. Yeah, for 3, for 2, for 1, press back into downward dog. So eventually elevate your hips up high. Nice. Inhale, your left leg will rise to the sky. Step it forward to the top of the mat. So you got this really, really long step, okay? It's important that you get that. If not, take your back foot and just slide it a little bit further away. That's totally cool. So here we are, inhale, take the arms up. Again, watching this rib cage space, right? So we're not like just like dropping out. You've got your rib cage in, you're pressing your tail down, and your arms can reach up. Beautiful. Fingertips come behind the ears, and then you've got your right knee settling almost to earth. I know that's a tough one, but you'll get there. It's all right. So here we go for 3, for 2, and then for 1, take your right elbow and cross crunch. So here we go. Keep your knee floating, bring your elbows back. You got 2 more. You're doing awesome. Exhale, take your elbow to knee. Bring it all the way back. Good, last time, you're here. And then slowly, so you'll keep your elbow hooked. Maybe your knee softens down to the floor. If you need to use your hands, please do that. Then eventually you'll point your toes away, palms to touch, and you've got a heart opening. Big breaths in and big breaths out, right? Yeah. So you might even notice like across your right shoulder, there's some discomfort. Then pull it back a little bit, sit up taller. Maybe even just put your hands onto your hip and your knee. That's totally fine. Then you'll bring it all the way back to center. You'll drop your fingertips down to the floor. Tuck your back toes under and your back knee rises. Okay, here we go for a warrior 3. So if you need that momentum, it's like 1, 2, 3, right? Otherwise, you can use just a little bit more of that core strength and elevate up, right up onto the fingertips. Your hips are really neutral, but I get it. If you have a hip injury, let your hip come up a little bit so you're not so defined through that movement of strict hips. So here we are. Inhale, we hold. Exhale, tap your knee to your back knee, okay, and squat. You got this. Inhale, let's rise. Exhale, squat. Inhale, let's lengthen. Exhale, let's squat. Hold it here. Now what we're doing is reverse eagle, remember? So right foot taps to the outer edge. You have to almost draw your right knee forward so that you've got a little bit more stability. Now peel open your heart, palms to touch, and take the twist with your right elbow to the outer edge of your left knee. Nice. So we're holding here for 3. Good, we're holding here for 2. You got 1 more big inhale. Here we are, bring it back to center. Let your fingertips or palms touch. Bring your feet side by side. Come up high onto the toes and settle your hips down towards your heels. And you're going to need to probably hop over towards the right-hand side of your mat. Just gonna check the time here. All right, so let's walk the hands over towards the left-hand side. I'm gonna slide over a little bit more so you can see me. I can barely see the screen with the sun, so hopefully you're not just seeing a silhouette here today, but maybe you are. All right, so the palms are pressed down. So the key to this, I know, is overcoming the fear, right? So part of what you can talk about to yourself is that I am an arm balancer, and I'm not saying that that's the whole thing that you want to do of yoga, but maybe if you're so fearful of getting your face, you know, sort of squished a little bit, put a pillow underneath, kind of start small, but really start those little movements of leaning forward and trusting yourself. I swear to God, you are way stronger than what you think you are. You really are. So here we go. So we'll slide forward. Again, if you need your back elbow for support, feel free. I do need to wipe my nose here. There we go. I don't know why all of a sudden I got some little dribbles going on, but here we are. So we're leaning forward. So some of us are gonna take our back elbow to our hip, others will free float. And again, you can hold here, you can start to elevate that one leg. For 3, for 2, for 1, bring your knees back together. Slowly you lower down onto your toes. Great success, yay. Okay, bring your feet all the way back to center. It's downward dog. So walk your hands forward. Let your feet step to the back of the mat. Big breaths in and big breaths out. Your hands are shoulder width. Your feet are only about a fist width apart. Any wider and you start putting pressure on the outer edges of your hips. If you need more space though, soften up the knees so that you can press back your hips a little bit further. Inhale, right leg goes long. Exhale, bring your foot all the way up. Again, remember, tense your fingertips up. It makes it way easier as you step forward, okay? Slide your back foot away from you if you need. Again, I'm gonna scooch back a little bit. I seem to be wanting to creep up towards the camera. Inhale, reach your arms up. Okay, exhale, take your palms to touch, and now you've got elbow to knee again. This time hold here. Your elbow attacks the knee, so right to the outer side. Be really strong with that. Palms come to touch. Open your heart towards the right side. Now some of you, we're gonna work on a bind, all right? So this is a little bit more dramatic. Your left hand goes towards the hip. Your right fingertips reach back behind you. If you've got more space, some of you, go for it. You can start wrapping your arm underneath your leg. Then draw your right arm underneath, and you need to keep your heart open, looking towards the right. That's a tough one, I know. It's not the easiest movement, right? So here we are, holding here for 3, holding here for 2, holding here for 1, and then slowly bring yourself all the way back to center. Fingertips come down, drop your back foot lower to the floor. So your toes are kind of facing forward though. Make sure you've got that. And notice this ass cheek scenario. Your bum is not out like that. I don't know what that is. Take your pubic bone and pull it towards the left side. So now you're in a completely neutral spine, yeah? Your elbow can go to your knee, side angle pose, or your hand grabs onto your ankle. Let's just elevate up the arm towards the sky. So belly draws in, arm is elevated, maybe you lift the gaze. Strong, strong, strong. Warrior 2, here we go. Peel yourself up, keep your knee nice and low. Walk back your leg and extend out your arms. You've got this. Okay, here we go. So take an inhale, straighten out your front leg, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, push out. So actually feel your palms resisting the wind, the air, whatever the hell you've got going on there. Then take an inhale, rise up. Exhale, press it away. Beautiful. Inhale, manifestation. Digest it. Exhale, push it away, rest it, yeah? All right, so come all the way back up, straighten your front thigh, palms to touch. Turn your toes towards the left-hand side. We're moving into a wide leg forward fold. So watch that you don't like, boom, press your hips back. That's really hard on your hammies. Soften your knees, bring your hips forward, then come forward. Yeah, and if you have the space, then you can start straightening out the legs, right? Again, not in competition mode. We're just simply allowing ourselves to flow with what's happening in our bodies right now. So maybe you start to drip your head a little bit lower. I'm looking at you, but you can look down at the earth. You can also look back behind you, noticing how that feels. Beautiful. So hang out here for 3. Good. Hang out here for 2. Hang out here for 1. Now some of you know you want to go upside down. You're like, go upside down. So we're going to do it, all right? So this is up to you. You can just choose to get to your knees, put your hands down, your head creates the tripod. Head at the top of the triangle, hands at the bottom. If you're going with your wide leg, watch that your head is still at the top of the triangle. Root down your palms, tuck your chin. Maybe you stay here today. That's totally cool. Otherwise, you root down and eventually lift up your hips and your feet may float. May float. Then take your knees in, hold here. Maybe you lengthen the feet up towards the sky. Maybe you don't. Now for a little bit more core, some of you have your knees bent, others of us will keep our legs straight as we lower back down to earth. Now go slow, 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 slow. Let your hips fall back a little bit over top of your head. Talking is really challenging in this pose. Hold here for 3. Hold here for 2. Cover your feet. One last big inhale. Hold, hold, hold. Then widen them out if possible. Wide, 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 wide. Then lower down your feet towards the floor. Woo! Let your head go. freaking exciting, right? Okay, so if none of that worked for you and you're just holding your wide leg, I love it. That's perfect for what you need right now. Maybe you can go upside down and you chose not to, right? Like, this is about choice. So allow yourself to just hang out. Good, one more big inhale here. Letting it all go. And then your fingertips can slide under your shoulders. You rise up, walk towards the front. So you still have your right leg in front. All we're doing is jump switching, okay? So keep your fingertips down, pull your belly in, left leg goes in front. Perfect. Take an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. So again, we're not in gymnastics, so it's not that. This is, I don't know what this is. Take your rib cage in, be stronger, tail down, rise your arms up, shoulders drip towards the earth. Yeah, okay. Then palms can come all the way into heart space. And exhale, take your elbow and hook it to the outer edge of your left knee. And notice that your back knee, if it's kind of sagging, drop it to the floor, otherwise power it up. Now you've got the options of working to half bind, full bind, or whatever you'd like to go, right? So your hand can go to your hip, your left hand can reach all the way back behind you. If you want to go for your full bind, feel free, right? So all we're doing is you kind of have to take your chest and slide it towards the outer edge of your upper thigh so your arm can kind of scooch underneath your leg. That takes a really open rotator cuff though. One more big inhale. And as you exhale, we'll bring our gaze to center, but lower down the hands towards the earth. Yeah. And then take your back foot and land it flat. And again, as soon as we land the back foot flat, it doesn't give the hips permission to do that. Again, this is nothing. That is just putting a lot of pressure on your hip. Pull your hips towards the right-hand side, okay? Then let's bring ourselves all the way up with the elbow on top of the thigh, side angle. Roll your top shoulder back, let your heart reach towards right, and take your right hand up. Now some of you are gonna go a little further. Doesn't mean it's more advanced, it means it's better for your body. So slide your hand down towards your ankle. Let your toes be light though, huh? Good, hold here for 3. Hold here for 2. I just had a funny thought of like a seagull shitting on my head, but hopefully that does not occur. All right, so bring yourself all the way back up, right? Inhale, we hold here. Beautiful. Exhale, pause. Inhale, straighten your front leg, reach your arms up. Exhale, push it away. The desire to knock on those doors and push down barriers, let some of that go. Let it be once you've manifested it, right? Inhale, rise. Exhale, push. You got this. All right, again, inhale, let's rise. Nice. And exhale, let's push. Beautiful. Eventually, you'll start straightening up through your front thigh. Bring your hands to your hips. Your toes come all the way in towards center. Interlock your hands behind you. Inhale, rise, heart space up. Exhale. Make sure your bum doesn't go boom, right? Come forward slightly and gently lower down. And as you do, bring your arms up and over your head. Now, can you do toes in, heels out a little bit better? Not so dramatic, but enough, right? Let your palms go. Like, I know a lot of people like the palms pressing in, but for me that actually aggravates a little bit of my shoulder joint, so I'm going to relax that, and then I can actually extend my chest a bit further, rolling the backs of the arms closer, holding here for 3, holding here for 2, good, holding here for 1. Bring your hands down to your low back, take your hands down towards the earth. Now take your right hand and reach it out really, really long, okay? Then take your left hand and bring it underneath you, and we're twisting towards the right hand side. So think about going longer, crawling your back hand away from you, and look underneath your right armpit. Nice. Then eventually crawl both of your palms forward, and you might do like, it's called hammock, right? So it's not downward dog at all. What we're doing is pressing the heels down and allowing the heart to press further. It's like a standing puppy pose type idea, right? So your hips are wide, you press up your sit bones, but your core needs to stay strong as you crawl out your hands and let your head reach down towards the earth. So big breaths in and big breaths out. This is what's gonna help you. So if your shoulders are very injured, come up, right? There's no point in pushing down if you're screaming, huh? Then keep your left hand where it is, and your right fingertips reach back behind you, and you're crawling those right fingertips away from you, and at the same time start looking. I'm just gonna narrow in my feet a little bit. You'll look underneath your left armpit. Hi. Yeah. Holding here for 3. Good, holding here for 2. And holding here for 1. Eventually, slowly bring your hands underneath your shoulders, half lift. Peace fingers to floor, slide up through your heart, walk yourself all the way around. So you got your left leg all the way in front. Step it back, upper plank will flow. Here we go. Good, chaturanga is only 90 degrees, my friends. We're not going here with us up. You're going bum down and shoulders up. Then point your toes and rise. Bring it back to downward facing dog. All right, let's make our way to the top of the mat. So you can take a little hop. I'm just gonna step up. I'm sweaty as fuck. So I'm walking all the way up. Inhale to a half lift. And exhale, take it to forward fold. Good, come up to standing. Take a swan dive. I'm stepping back so you can see. Hands into heart space. Good, take your right knee in towards your chest. Good, flex your foot, cross it over. We've got to sit down. Here we go. So if your knee is really high, don't stress about it. Keep it the way it is. Otherwise, if you have the ability to drop, then press both hips, like the creases of your hips, press them back. Yeah, pull this guy in and let your heart go long. Good, hang out here. It's like pigeon pose, right? One more big breath in. Good, and as you exhale, slowly start to come all the way back upright. Can you extend your leg forward, hands to hips? And then lower the foot down towards the floor. Good. Look forward, inhale, arms rise. Then look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, crawl forward, upper push-up position. Just gonna check the time here. Not sure what's happening with that. Inhale here, exhale, go chaturanga or floor. Upward dog cobra. And take it back into downward facing dog. Good, and then when you're ready, you'll start walking your hands back towards your feet. Walkie, walk, walk. Good, inhale, half lift. So if you need to bring your hands on your shins, rock it out. Otherwise, peace fingers to floor, right? Exhale, forward fold. Good, let's come to standing. So take an inhale, rise. And exhale, your hands come into heart space. Okay, so take inhale, take left knee up. Flex out your foot, very important. Ankle goes in the crosswise upper right thigh, sit it down. So knees open, but if it's not, that's okay, stay like this, it's no problems. Otherwise the knee is open and we sit down, core pulls in and we extend. Like feel like you're coming up out of your hips rather than kind of hoping that this ends, right? So here we are. For 3, good. For 2, foot super flexed, yeah? One last big inhale, here we go. Rise it all the way back up again. Now bring your hands to your hips and kick out your leg. Whoop. And then lower it all the way down. Let's take a flow. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soften, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. You got this. Exhale, walk it forward into an upper push-up position. Pause here, so fun. Inhale, pause. Exhale, right hand crawls forward, not to the center, but forward. Then spin on your heels, and now your heels are in line with your wrist. Take an inhale, extend up. Allow this to be more of a heart opening than anything else. Now, if you need to stagger your feet, you rock it out. Otherwise, both of your feet go side by side, yeah? Okay, take your left forearm down to the earth, spin towards the right, forearm plank. Here you go, so spin it around
The other guy's coming right
and reach your arm back up.
He said white SUV.
Good, eventually both forearms come down to the earth. Now you're in a forearm push-up, okay? So watch that we're not sinking. If you need to drop your knees, go for it. Otherwise, you're pressing up. So feel your bum kind of round. So instead of this like ass up scenario, which is really hard for the core, bring it in and hold here for 3. Hold here for 2. Got one last big inhale. We're coming back up to upper push-up. You got this. So press into your hands, 1, then the other. You're there. Walk up your left fingertips, not to the center. It's up, yeah? And then spin open. reach your right hand to the sky. Maybe your gaze elevates as well. Eventually, forearm comes all the way down. You are doing it. Away we go to the left side. You're there with me. Here we are. Inhale, elevate your left arm. Up, up, up. And exhale, both elbows come down towards the earth. Take your knees down. Now you're in Sphinx Pose. Spread out your hands nice and wide. Hi. It almost is like you want to peel the earth back towards you so that you can elevate up. But keep your belly in. So instead of this like dumping scenario, right? Come up. Maybe you take the eyes up, but watch that the chin is not leading the way. It's in and it's the eyes, yeah. Good, crocodile. Let your chest lower down. Widen out your elbows. Your hands go on top of each other and your forehead rests down. Maybe you wiggle out your bum a little side to side. See how that feels? All right, take your feet up. Widen them out a little bit. I know that there's this thing about keeping everything completely aligned, but I need a little more room in my hips, so that's where I'm going today. You can keep your knees in line with your hips or do whatever, Dhanurasana, upward bow, okay? So eventually you'll reach back towards your feet. Now some of you who cannot use a strap, that'll be easier, or grab onto your yoga pants, okay? You'll kick back slightly and let your heart go high. So if you can keep your thighs down, do that. Otherwise, start to really engage your quads and elevate up your quads. Hold here for 3. Hold here for 2, maybe up a little higher. One last big inhale, and then exhale, lower yourself all the way down. Can you squeeze your heels into your bum for a moment? And then let that go. Good, press back into wide knee child's pose, lift up. Knees come out nice and wide, and allow your hips to settle down towards the earth. It's like we are doing a full circle here. You get that, right? Here we are. Eventually walk your hands all the way back in towards you. You'll cross your legs back behind you and then just settle your heels out in front of you. I'll scooch up a little bit. All right, so we'll take an inhale, lengthen up the heart. Paschimottanasana, exhale to a forward fold. Sorry that you're really viewing my dirty little feet right now, but here we go. So you can grab onto the ankles, or maybe you're like doing a different variation where you're up a little bit higher. Otherwise, allow your neck to actually go long. Good, big breaths in and big breaths out, moving it down into the low back, out into the hips. Hi. And then bring yourself all the way back upright. And as you do, let's cross the left leg, sorry, the right leg, my bad, over top of your left. So right in front of left, yeah? Take subtle twists. Inhale, up goes left arm. Exhale, take it over. Whew, I am sweaty and a little bit grassy right now. Here we go. Good, then keep your left arm as it is. Take your right arm, bring it across, squeeze this in and tuck your chin and lean back as if you're spreading the upper back. Pull your belly in and hold here for 3. Hold here for 2. Good, and then for 1, slowly bring your hips down to the earth a little bit more, so grounded, rise your heart up, lean back, Navasana. Good, hold here for 3. Hello. Hold here for 2. And then for 1, your left leg goes all the way in front. Inhale, take your right arm up. Bring it onto your knee. Surrender your heart towards the left-hand side. Good, then bring it all the way back, but now take your left arm, bring it across. Same, yeah? So pull back your back of the heart, like spread it behind you, tuck your belly in, and allow your chin to draw in. And then come back up, upright, allow your shoulders to roll back a couple of times. Hands come behind you, take your feet out in front of you, and just gently windshield wiper, right? Let that all go. You guys did amazing. So you know the drill. I could hang out with you in Shavasana, but you know, that's something that you can do on your own. It was an absolute pleasure spending this time with you. I look forward to our next adventure. So if you get a chance to pop by San Diego Pacific Beach at any time, it is a phenomenal place to go. Holiday and visit. I come here every year, and I just wish the best for all of you. Remember, when you're looking at your manifestations, it's manifest, it's digest, and it's let it rest. All right, my dear friends, much love. Mwah, mwah. Bye.